In this video, we're going to be using the zeros of a function in order to graph it. So here are the equation we're going to be using is f of x equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. This is written in standard form. But in order to use our zeros, we'll need to factor this. So when we factor this, we're looking for two numbers that will multiply to negative 3 but add to 2. So the multiples of 3, or rather the factors of 3, are 1 and 3. That's it. Now looking at our symbols, because we have a negative sign here, that tells us that our symbols for the 1 and the 3 will be different. And looking here tells us that our bigger number is going to be a negative. So if we use a negative 3 and a positive 1, and we add these together, oops, let's try that again. There we go. We add these together, that's going to give us a value of negative 2, which is what we were trying to get. So we can rewrite this as x plus 1 and x minus 3. So this is f of x equals, and now we've changed it from standard form to intercept form. So using intercept form, we're looking for an A, a P, and a Q. Our A value is the leading number in the front, and we don't see one there, but because there's a function, we know it's a 1. Our P and our Q's are our numbers inside of our parentheses. So we're going to have a negative 1 and a positive 3. Next, we need to find our axis of symmetry. And to do that, we are going to add our two P's, our P and our Q together. So our negative 1 plus 3 divided by 2, and this is going to give us our x value. So doing this gives us a value of 1. Then we need to find our vertex. So we're going to take our equation, so our x squared minus 2x minus 3, and we're going to plug in the one that we just got. And that is going to give us a value of negative 4. So our vertex is going to be 1, comma, negative 4. So our negative 4 goes there, and the 1 is from the axis of symmetry. Now if we take a look at our A value here, that tells us, because it's positive, that our graph is going to open up. So it's going to look like a U. And so now we should be ready to graph. So we'll go ahead and we'll set up our graph. So we'll graph our P value. So P is at negative 1 and Q is at 3. We'll graph our axis of symmetry, which is at 1. Then we'll graph our vertex, which is at 1, negative 4. And then we'll draw our graph. And so to make our graph that opens up, we're going to go through our intercept, so through our P to our vertex, then from our vertex through our Q and up. If we had been asked to find the domain and the range, we'd be able to say that the domain is that x equals all real numbers, and for our range we would say that y, and because our A value was positive, our vertex is a minimum, so our y would be greater than or equal to the negative 4 that we got from our vertex. So that's how you use the zeros to graph.